Back to part 2 of this video, navigating a career transition after the layoff. Okay, so the last session in part 1 in the video, we saw that how to restructure your career narrative. What are your skills, and then how to tailor it and search for the jobs that you want. Okay, and what do you do when companies still reject you because you just don't have prior experience in that industry or that role or that job? This is a common thing that we hear from my clients. Companies still reject them based on that they don't have previous experience doing that job. Okay, people want sure wins, right? Companies don't want to take a risk on you. Okay, then what do you do when you keep hearing this? There are certain strategies or tactics that we can use to address this. Okay, and being prepared, help you to be proactive and really anticipate that and make the best use of that opportunity. Okay. So reframe your narrative. Take the initiative before they reject you. Don't hide your background, right? But address it in your summary in a way that makes sense for the person reading it. Okay, so across that multiple industries, your experience have that breadth. Right, so you're broad. The experience brings you many unique skills and techniques. Yeah, so you have all these in your toolkit. Right, these are your advantages, the unique advantages that you have because of your journey. Okay, but how do you articulate that in a way that makes sense, that's confident? All right, that is the key. Okay, so think about how you want to reframe and articulate that narrative. You need to connect the dots, right? So people reading the CV or looking at your background, it's very messy, it's very diverse. They can't connect the dots themselves, right? People want shortcuts. Okay, so you need to map your generalist skills to their needs in that company, in that role that you're hiring for. Okay, so what tools have you used? What have you done, right? And how does this map to their needs? You need to connect the dots for them. Right. And looking at some of the roles, so you need to prioritize positions, where you're going to apply, where you're going to spend your time to customize and do all these. Okay, so looking at brief roles, what type of roles, what type of companies are high potential for you? Okay, companies are undergoing transformation. This presents a unique opportunity where you can fit in and add value. Right? So looking for job descriptions also with keywords and skill-based keywords. So not just the traditional JDs, but you're looking at skill-based keywords. Okay, that will help you match your skills to the jobs that are looking for them. And technical skills may not be your strength because you might be a generalist, right? So we know what to avoid and what to focus on. All right, so having a skill summary maybe at the top would help to make sense and summarize for the person reading. Okay, focus on achievements. Again, I cannot emphasize enough on this. To really focus on what happened, what was the outcome, what was achieved, what you did. What was your unique value and impact in that role. Okay, don't just focus on what you did. Nobody is interested in what you did. Okay, nobody is interested in your old JD. All right, so really tie into the impact and the value that you bring. Okay, and label sections to make sure that has some thematic consistency, meaning to group them into themes that make sense, that has some pattern, that is grouping, right? We love to see things in groups, in themes, to get it quickly. Okay, we don't want to spend time to arrange it in our mind. Nobody wants to do that. Okay, and cover letter, always have a cover letter, and open with enthusiasm for their company. Right, you're interested in them. You've done your research on their company, their industry, what's happening in their market, their challenges, what they're looking for in this role. Show that you have researched them and you've done extensive homework on them. It really shows your ability to research and to be resourceful. Okay, that's a key criteria that they're looking for. Okay, where are some of the things? Address it. Things to consider for your LinkedIn profile update. And during interviews, if you have that opportunity, okay, what are you going to say? Yeah? And how are you going to prove it? And show that you have done the homework, very importantly. This really shows your commitment. It really differentiates you as a candidate. Volunteer is very important. We said networking in the last video, but networking is very surface. It's, small touch points. People don't remember you. Okay, so volunteer really for a program, like a non-profit, a charity, some kind of a society, association, an event, a workshop, a community thing, whatever, right? And maybe even a target field, that's even better. Okay, so volunteer for a society or something, right, that can help you reach these stakeholders, have engagement, strong, longer term engagement with them. So people know you and they can see your work, yeah, your commitment. And in the target field to understand more about the industry, understand more about what's happening, and you get to talk to the people who are working there, so you get all these insights and also potential referrals in future. Okay, but put in the work, right? Don't just volunteer and then don't show up. Okay, of course, show yourself and put in the work and really invest the effort in that because it will pay off. And I've seen my clients do that successfully. Okay, it pays off in longer term, maybe 3 to 6 months. Okay, not immediately, right? So we must be prepared for that. And you can start early, right? Do a freelance gig, even when you are still early in your job search or you still have a job right now, but you're leaving, something like that, right? But plan ahead. Do some freelance gigs to open your network, to open your exposure, to meet people and so on, right? So you need to be very strategic and plan ahead and invest extra time and effort into it for sure. Okay. So analyze a company's public data, their news, what's happening with them, talk to people from there if possible, and what is the gap, what is their pain point. So it's like researching. It's like you're a consultant. You're researching the company and how to help them, right? So you can then present things that they need, and this will be very impressive. Right, I have had my clients, really go in and be ready to say, okay, I know of your company, I know how to help you, right, to optimize certain something. And that's precisely what they're looking for. And they haven't been able to find that in candidates. Right, so then really makes you stand out. Yeah. And in many interviews nowadays, we have also case study presentation segment. So to start early to really research and spend time to do that well. Don't just throw it into AI and expect it to be perfect. All right? Okay. And network past the gatekeepers. Often with the objections, it's by the HR gatekeepers or the hiring managers or the talent acquisition, right? And we need to then find ways to connect directly to who is hiring, okay? Who is the key person, the stakeholder deciding, okay, decision maker, right? And we might use LinkedIn or network to really reach out to them and connect to them directly to pitch ourselves, okay? And to make that connection, you can understand more and then you can match yourself to it. What are the skills that they value most? What are they looking for? Okay, attend niche events that you can find these people. All right, really in your target industry, look for these. You can find them on Meetup, on LinkedIn, on some of the event websites on the platforms. Okay, and connect with them. Really raise your hand, ask questions, connect with the speakers, the attendees afterwards. Spend the time really to make the connection and ask intelligent questions. Okay. Yep, stepping stone roles. Do not look down on them, right? So sometimes you really need to consider a stepping stone role to something else that you want to get. All right, at the target company, this is the company, dream company that I want. I really want like this, and it is a long-term good prospect company for me. But I can't get into that role right now because I don't have the skills or whatsoever, the experience. Yeah, but I can get into adjacent roles and then do an internal transfer in future. So look beyond that, look ahead and plan that, have a roadmap for yourself, right? But there's a place to start, okay? In your target industry, take a junior role. You may need to take a step back. It may be a contract position nowadays, 8 months, 6 months, even an internship, whatsoever. Yes, but that is the foot in the door, absolutely critical to get there. Okay, and it's a very, very useful and practical way to get in. If financially you're okay and you can manage around this, all right, and there will be payoffs. I really believe in that. I have seen that in my clients. At a smaller company, startup, SME, small medium enterprise, right? Sometimes you have to look at the size or the maturity of the company and decide what is there for me now, what is possible for me now, and then for the future. Okay. So do not discount startups as well. Yeah? Okay, when we are rejected, how do we deal with that? In our mind and also our resilience. And also, what do we do? Do I want to ask for feedback and to help me in the next time? What can I do next? All right. If people say that many times, take into account and then address it. Yeah, and remember, very good mindset shift reminder for us. Companies are not really wanting industry experience, and they may be hiring the same type of people for many years, and they haven't found the right people, right? And here in certain roles, they just want to de-risk. They just want to have a low risk hire, but someone that can work for them. Okay, so you have to prove that you can solve their problems. All right, research their pain points, really know what they're looking for, how you can help them solve their problems. You can adapt immediately, right? You're agile, right? You can adapt to this environment. You've done it before. Okay, you are passionate about them, you're putting the effort, and you can really add value to them, yeah, with your knowledge. All right. I hope this is helping you today and really kickstart your action. Thank you.